Simmer friends, we are back with the Not So Berry Challenge, Generation 3, which is the colour yellow. So the build today is in Oasis Springs on the Arid Ridge lot, which is a 40 by 30 lot. We've got a tier 1 micro home that's being built for this sim. So for those of you who don't know about the Not So Berry Challenge, it was developed by little Simszeey some years ago, and I will post a link in the description to the challenge so that you can read up all about it and do the challenge if you want. So Generation 3, as I said, is the yellow generation, and for this sim, it is. Growing up, you never had a close relationship with your mother and spent the majority of your time alone in your room obsessing over space. You just really love space. You'll do whatever it takes to get to Simszeey, no matter the cost. Now, the traits of this particular sim is clumsy, ambitious, and loner. The aspiration is nerd brain, and the career is astronaut. So in this build, I've tried to give all of the skill building activities and other types of activities that would suit this sim's personality. So this sim that I created, her name is Yellow, as in YELL-OH. And a little bit of a backstory for Yellow. So her and her mum, Rose, who is Rose Hastings from Generation 2, they just do not get along. So Rose was in the politician career and they lived in San Myshuno. And Rose was always out whining and dining and spending time entertaining and never really got to know her daughter Yellow. So Yellow spent most of her time alone, and she is a massive introvert, and she loves spending time in her room thinking about space, and her whole life just revolved around space, and her mum just could not understand why she spent so much time alone in her room when her mum was such an extrovert out socializing. All through her life, Yellow spent a lot of time in her room or alone, and her whole life just revolved around space. So thinking about space, dreaming of Simszeey, researching space, researching rocket ships, building rocket ships now that she's older and has her own place. And when she's not building the rocket ship, she's in her telescope scouring space for aliens. So you would have seen the first thing that I put down was the rocket ship for her to build. And being that she's in the astronaut career as well, she spends a lot of time building that rocket ship skill as well as the logic skill set. So we also have a chess table out the back as well. So given that this is a tiny home as well, or a micro home, she doesn't really spend a lot of time inside. So she does spend time inside on her computer, but the rest of the time is spent outside. So she spends a lot of time building her rocket ship and upgrading her rocket ship. And she also spends a fair amount of time at night in her telescope as well. This is the first time I've actually used the Dream Home Decorator items in the kitchen. So I've used the separate stove and stovetop. I haven't actually used that before, so this was nice to be able to experiment by splitting those up in the kitchen. So as I mentioned earlier, Yellow doesn't spend a lot of time inside. So I have put a large back porch area on the house, and this is where I've put the dining table for her to be able to eat her meals. There's also a chess table out there, and I've also placed a woodworking bench out there as well. To be honest, I'm not overly thrilled with how this build turned out. Originally, I was going to do a container home and have it somewhat eco-friendly and modern. However, that just didn't feel right for Yellow. So I've done a micro home, and I kind of tried to give it that eco-friendly container feel, but it just didn't work, I don't think. So it'd be interested to see what you guys think of this build. If you do like this build, you can download it from the gallery, and the ID is Simszeey. I think why I felt this build didn't really come together was because I felt that the garden bed, so the terrain paint that I used in the garden bed, really clashed with the colour yellow, and it didn't really kind of work together. I must say though, I really do love the new plants kit that recently came out, and I took this opportunity to use the plants again in this build. I think I've used them in every single build since I got the pack. I really, really love those plants.
Maybe I've been going nowhere lately. It's time to start all over and go for it. 'Cause they don't even know me yet. But that's something I don't regret. Every night I close my eyes and see only lavender dreams, baby. What can I do when a million things are running through? Million things I can't undo. I just sleepwalk, I just sleep talk. That's all I got. What can I say with a million things I can't erase? Million people I can't save. I just sleepwalk, I just sleep talk. Don't wanna wake up. Tell me that you can see what I see, feeling wrapped up in the warmth of Sunday memories. But I don't even know what's next.
So this is the outdoor area where Yellow does spend a fair amount of time. So she does play chess, mainly on her own because she doesn't really have any friends. Her friends think she's a little bit odd, I think because all she can talk about is space, and they're not really into space, so they think that she's a little bit odd, I think. The only person that Yellow really seems to bond with and have anything in common with is her grandma, so Mint Hastings. So Mint was in the scientist career and spent a lot of her time in the lab, and so Mint and Yellow tend to have a lot to talk about when they get together, and it's good that at least one person in Yellow's life understands Yellow and her passion for science and space. So we'll be coming into screenshots shortly, so thank you so much for watching the video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time with the next build. Thanks so much, and bye for now.
What can I do when a million things are running through? Million things I can't undo. I just sleepwalk, I just sleep talk. That's all I got. What can I say with a million things I can't erase? Million people I can't save. I just sleepwalk, I just sleep talk. Don't wanna wake up. Million things I don't know what to do. Sunday morning, waking up with you. We got no plans, we got nothing to do. You tell me you love me, I go start the coffee. Sunday morning, easy love with you. Okay, okay, okay. I'm your sunshine mixed with a little hurricane. White hot angel with a daredevil's brain. This feeling, I just can't fight it. You know all the ways I like it. My north, you're my south, you're my east, you're my west. When you see me at my worst, try to make me feel my best. This love, we just can't deny it. You know all the ways I like it. You holding me, tangled up in these sheets. Holding you, holding holding me, easy love. Wednesday night just hanging out, us two. Just got home and you turn on some blues. Then tell me you're hungry, I go order Chinese. Wednesday night it's easy love with you. Okay, okay, okay. I'm your sunshine mixed with a little hurricane, white hot angel with a daredevil's brain. This feeling I just can't fight it. You know all the ways I like it. My north, you're my south, you're my east, you're my west. When you see me at my worst, try to make me feel my best. This love we just can't deny it. You know all the ways I like it. You holding me, tangled up in these sheets, holding you, holding me, easy love. You holding me, tangled up in these sheets, holding you, holding me, easy love. Like a drive in the sun, windows down, music on. We've got nothing but time. Feel the breeze in my head, baby. We be cruising. Oh, na na na, na na na, na na na, na na na. Sunshine mixed with a little hurricane, white hot angel with a daredevil's brain. This feeling I just can't fight it. You know all the ways I like it. My north, you're my south, you're my east, you're my west. When you see me at my worst, try to make me feel my best. This love, we just can't deny it. Yeah, you know all the ways I like it. Yeah, you know how I like it, baby. Got me tangled all up in these sheets. Yeah, holding you, holding me, easy love. Yeah, you and me, yeah. Got me tangled up all in these sheets, holding you, holding me, easy love.